offense that this Penn State defense will have to deal with, and that includes especially Jillian Grimes, the libero.
And Penn State's defense is going to have to be big today.
One Nebraska on the road tonight, one of just 2 unbeatens remaining in the country at 12-0. Penn State has taken its ups and downs, 7-5 this season, still trying to get things figured out after winning a national title a year ago, and off we go from Penn State. Dug up by Riley, chased down Alec, and a free ball back to Penn State. Back set, it's Martin again, she goes off speed and drops it down in front of Olivia Mount. Goes off speed and drops it down in front of Olivia Mount.
First 2 sets of the match going to number 18 in white. She is one of the best players in the country. Second right now in Division I in kills per set. She's going to score a lot of points over there for Penn State.
Had 34 kills this weekend in a 4-set loss to UCLA. Alec is tipped back up front by Jordan Hopp, and it's Penn State who begins the night 2-0.
Biggest thing for Nebraska in this match, playing in an environment like Rec Hall when it's sold out and all these fans are cheering against you, is to not allow Penn State to go on runs and kill that momentum fast.
Riley back set, Virginia Adriano. It's a point for Nebraska off the deflection. It hit the antenna in the first point of the night for the Huskers.
Left side blocking for Penn State is going to be really big today, whether that's Emmy Selman or Caroline Juravicious. Nebraska likes to run a lot on the right side of the court.
Got it. Far pin, Adriano goes cross court, and she's got the first 2 kills of the night for Nebraska. As there's a look at Danny Busboom Kelly. First year at Nebraska after spending the last few years at Louisville, where she developed one of the best programs in the country. Lost to this Penn State team in the national final. Back set, Martin picked up by Malk. That's a great dig. Murray's first touch is off speed. Jackson tight to the net. Bergen Riley, back row swing, and it's a kill. Terea Sigler gives Nebraska its first lead of the night.
Nebraska runs one of the best back row attacks in the country. It's so difficult because they have 2 hitters in the same zone, a middle as well as a back row coming through. You don't know who to go to block.
Just a little bit wide on the swing from Jordan Hopp. Really good response from Nebraska after falling behind 2-0 early to score 4 straight.
Yeah, that's what makes Nebraska difficult. They don't let teams go on runs.
Another swing from Martin. She's turned back. Overpass is shoved into the corner and perfectly placed by Harper Murray. Katie Schumacher-Cauley, 4th-year head coach for Penn State, led the Nittany Lions to their first national title in a decade last year, going 35-2, beating Nebraska in the Final Four, beating Louisville in Louisville for the national championship. Cross court, Malk is there. Overpass is drilled down by Emmy Selman.
Penn State's attackers look absolutely locked in to start this match. You can tell by the look in their eyes, as well as how hard they're hitting. They want this match.
Jackson, sliding attempt there, but couldn't play it. It's a point for Nebraska.
Here's where Nebraska is so tough because their passing is so good. They're always putting Bergen Riley, for the most part, up at the net. Then she has all options, which is one of the reasons why Nebraska leads such a balanced attack, because that back row is so good.
5 players for Nebraska average at least 1.9 kills per set. They are so balanced top to bottom offensively. Martin back row, dug up by Sigler. Harper Murray has to climb the ladder to get there. Back row, Sigler, Martin can't dig it up, and she's got a couple kills in a row.
Nebraska again going to the back row attack. They have Terea Sigler. She's a freshman outside. She plays in a defensive specialist role, so you'll only see her in the backcourt, but she still makes sure to be an offensive weapon back there as well.
Couple back row kills already for Sigler, the true freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. Off the hands, Malk plays it. Riley dumps it over on 2.
Really smart play from Bergen Riley, the setter. Number 2 in black making sure to establish herself as an offensive, credible player. A lot of the experience out on the court has been playing next to each other for a few years now.
4 returning All-Americans for this Nebraska team. They're on an 8-1 run out of the timeout, and Harper Murray adds to it, drilling it down to the floor.
What's scary about Harper Murray is she gets better and better as matches go on. Sometimes we'll see her tip or roll shot early, right away. She's swinging high, going for the hands right off the block and down.
Couple early kills for the 2-time All-American. Lyon tight to the net. That swings a little bit long, and there was no touch. Emmy Selman was asking for it, but she doesn't get it, and that Nebraska run continues.
Nebraska right now on a 10-1 run. Adriano doing a phenomenal job in the backcourt serving right now, putting a lot of pressure on the Nittany Lions.
It was a 2-0 start for Penn State. They got out of the gates really well, but Nebraska has answered and then some. Martin back row is rejected, and it's the setter, Bergen Riley.
Penn State's going to have to settle in the backcourt, getting these balls up to the setter, Addie Lyon, so they can move things around a little bit. Andy Jackson, one of the most dynamic players, middle of your screen right now, just does a really nice job, handwork, pushing him over the net.
Lyon backs at Martin cross court with a laser beam to put an end to that long Nebraska run.
That's the side out that Penn State needed. When the Nittany Lions are in need of a point, every time they're going to go to Kennedy Martin. Doesn't matter if she's in the front or backcourt, Martin is the go-to.
Well, and then I think beyond that too, Emily, the question really for Penn State is who's going to develop into that number 2, because it's been a lot of just Kennedy Martin and really no help beyond that.
Yeah, well, Kennedy Martin puts up career numbers. She had 34 kills against UCLA. Penn State still lost that match. Penn State has to find some other production. Ideally from the left side, maybe you get a middle, but they're not typically that high enough kill percentage, or production rather. They're going to need someone else to start putting balls down. Andy Jackson again, 15 in black, working so hard to get up off the block, get off the net, and get into that approach.
Down the line, it's wide left from Juravicius on her first swing, and it's all Nebraska up 9 here in the first.
These are the rotations where Penn State can sometimes struggle with. Addie Lyon, number 7 in white, shorter setter up front. Look for Nebraska to attack that by setting the outsides.
And right on cue, a joust at the net is won by the taller setter in Bergen Riley.
Yeah, so Addie Lyon coming in just 5'9" on Penn State's front row. She's playing right front. If she's chasing a ball down, that's a massive advantage for Nebraska in that size mismatch.
Well, Addie Lyon was not expected to be the main setter this year for Penn State. Izzy Stark announced she was stepping away from the program really early into the season as this Nebraska defense continues to roll.
When Nebraska's playing as good defensively as they are right now, that means offensively on the other side, you got to figure out ways to keep it balanced, maybe speed things up a little bit, but keep it off the net.
Martin tools the block.
Martin right now really the only player that's been able to score high enough points. Emmy Selman 1 killed, Kennedy Martin right now with 3. Penn State just hasn't been able to generate offense from anybody else.
Roll shot is picked up. Lyon goes far side, dug up by Mount with a one-arm dig. Fair cross court, pounds it through the defense.
That kill all starts because Olivia Mauck in the back row generates that up. Impressive in right back. She's able to get a one-hander and get it up for that transition play.
Made the switch to her just a couple weeks ago. It had been Lainey Choboy who had been the libero to start the season. They switched to Olivia Mauck, and they feel really confident with both of them. Just fantastic back row defenders. Overpass, and Penn State can't do anything with it. Miscommunication along that front line results in a Nebraska point.
Yeah, just a missed opportunity on the Nittany Lions side, not taking control of those.
At that moment, that's what it ended up being, is 2 sets. Penn State pulled off the reverse sweep to advance to the national title match where they beat Louisville for their first title in a decade. Revenge has been on the mind of Nebraska ever since, after losing both matches to Penn State a year ago. And they're out to such a great start here in the first set, and it continues. An ace from Andy Jackson makes it a 13-point lead.
Andy Jackson going after her former teammate in Caroline Juravicius, who's really only in the passing rotation for this one half rotation. Really smart for Nebraska to target her.
Penn State team that's got 2 Nebraska transfers on it. Penn State again out of system, and free ball attempt that never clears the net. Penn State is struggling right now.
Yeah, just a few uncharacteristic errors for Penn State as well. We saw a miss overpass a few points ago. That time just a communication error.
That's how all Penn State fans feel right now. Juravicius is denied. Juravicius one more time is rejected again. Back row, Murray sliding dead, but an overpass. Nebraska in system. Off the slide, it's Rebecca Alec.
Rebecca Alec has elevated her game tenfold this year. That's one of the reasons why she was recently named the National Player of the Year watch list, because both sides of the game, she is dominating right now. That slide attack is the biggest improvement we've seen from her.
47 players on that watch list now, 4 of them from Nebraska, as Andy Jackson serves sails long, and Penn State gets a much-needed point. I mean, think about that. Almost 10% of the National Player of the Year watch list is from Nebraska.
Yeah, that's what you get. It feels like every year from Nebraska. All-Americans coming back. We knew coming into the season having 4 All-Americans, the most of any roster. Really impressive what they've been able to do, and they've lived up to it. Undefeated right now, 12-0.
Back row, Selman denied again by Alec.
Nebraska's just completely shutting down Penn State right now. I mean, a 21-6 set, you rarely see that even if you're playing a mid-major team, let alone Penn State, the number 16 team in the country.
A nearly flawless first set for the Huskers.
Here's some of those offensive jumps that we've seen from Rebecca Alec, and this year, the best of her career, over 0.8 kills per set more, and massive jumps in her efficiency as well.
Well, that's what it is for me more than anything, Emily, is the efficiency. Of course, as your career goes on, your kills per set is probably going to jump up, but the efficiency as well, when you're going high volume and high efficiency, that's so difficult to defend.
Yeah, and Rebecca Alec approached the offseason different than we've seen her in years past. She's been watching a ton of film of professional middle blockers across the world. She's gotten a lot stronger to do things like that. But man, she's always been known as a good defensive middle. Great blocker up front. This is the biggest reason and the biggest jumps that we've seen from her. She's just completely taken charge. She's gotten faster, stronger, and quicker as a middle, and that's translated to good offense.
She said in a press conference this week she was holding a grudge against Penn State. That felt like a swing that was holding a grudge. Shoved into the block, it's tooled by Landfair, and Nebraska already has set point and 18 of them to work with. From Rebecca Alec, 25-6.
Yeah, you could see that grudge playing out pretty much in every facet of Nebraska's game, serving Penn State off the court. The offense was dominant, and defensively, really stifling.
Well, we start set 2 with Harper Murray getting a touch, and it's picked up by Selman. Nebraska hit almost 600 in that first set. Great diving play. Selman zips across court, but it's too tall, and Nebraska opens up set 2 with a point.
This is a complete gut check for Penn State. You don't let a team come into your home and bounce you set 1, 25-6. Everyone out on the court right now has to check into new gear.
And this is a building, too, that is so difficult to play in typically.
I mean, it's super loud every time Penn State gets a point.
They won't get one here. Martin shoves it right into the block of Jackson and Murray.
And Nebraska's block has been doing such a good job so far through set 1. They had 4 in just the first set. Penn State needs to make that offensive adjustment, maybe keep the ball off the net a little bit more on these sets to have more space to hit.
Lyon goes outside. Nebraska scrambling. Murray still gets a good swing on it and goes down the line to open up set 2, 3-0.
High IQ play from Harper Murray, seeing chaos on Penn State's side, and just an easy chip shot right where the defense wasn't.
I say out of system, but Nebraska seems like they're never out of system.
It's really difficult to get Nebraska out of system as one of the best passing and defensive teams in the country.
Selman deflected back by the block. Lyon goes right side to Martin. And there's Penn State's first point of the set. It comes from Maggie Mendelson.
Those are the kind of momentum plays that Penn State needs, taking charge up front, especially on some of these overpasses, which is where they relax during set one.
Back set, Adriano smacks it cross court for the kill.
Virginia Adriano has been so impressive for Nebraska. A little bit shaky to start off the year, but the 6'5" opposite in her freshman season, coming over from Italy, now looks like she's really comfortable out on the floor.
Played in Italy's top professional league before coming here to Nebraska, and you can really tell that she's starting to find her groove over the last 2 or 3 weeks, really since that Creighton match, as she serves that one long, and a service error gives the point to Penn State.
This is a rotation for Penn State. Addie Lyon, number 7 in white, the setter, only 5'9", so she's playing in the front row. Watch for Nebraska to force a lot of balls outside for that blocking mismatch.
Off the slide, Jackson right down in front of Martin.
Even when Bergen Riley's in trouble, the connection between her and Andy Jackson is so impressive. This is one of the most difficult sets to make because you can't see the attacker and where their route is when you're making it, but that's why you get in the gym and practice that time after time to get that connection down.
Slide back the other way is blocked. Selman, too far. Asking for a touch, they don't get it. It's a point for Nebraska for now. We'll see if Penn State wants to challenge.
That's 4 or 5 times that we've seen.
Emmy Selman serving. Riley goes up tempo to Jackson. She's got the kill in the immediate side out.
Andy Jackson lethal behind the setter, but also in front. That connection so good between Bergen Riley and her fellow junior.
Lyon with a back set. Martin cross court. It will not find the line. Point Nebraska.
Nebraska continuing to put so much service pressure on Penn State, working the seams really well between the passers, driving them short and deep too.
Even though that one. My team!
First swing for Alexis Ewing. Oh, what a return from Jackson. That was incredible. Can Showboy chase it down? Yes, she can! Wow! Ewing blocked back. Martin back row. And Nebraska's into the net. Penn State wins the point.
This is Nebraska's defense at its finest. This is a middle blocker making this play, number 15, Andy Jackson. Okay, middle. Then you got a defensive specialist, one of the most exciting players to watch because there's plays like that almost every single match.
Look at that Nebraska bench, too. They were excited. Lyon cannot sprint it down. Nebraska stretches the lead out to 4.
Here's that previous point, Lainey Choboy again. I mean, she is pumping those arms, running as fast as she can. And check out that layout. She's sliding off the court to make it.
Full extension, greeted by her teammates, and well-deserved. What an effort. Nebraska didn't win the point, but that was spectacular from Lainey Choboy.
I mean, Choboy is just so fun to watch because she flies around more than any libero in the country.
Ewing, too strong.
This is one of the reasons why Nebraska's defense is so good, is because all around, their players in the backcourt are putting up libero-type numbers. Bergen Riley, that's the setter that is leading them in digs per set right now.
Martin, nobody's digging that one up.
Penn State's going to need a lot more of that, getting Kennedy Martin going. Now that she's back in the front court, but wherever she is, Lyon has to know that Martin's a target right now.
Leads the Big Ten, second in the country in over 5 kills per set. She does have 5, which is a match high right now, but that is clearly significantly under her average. Back set, Alec on the slide, squeezes it between the back row defenders.
Not only is Alec finding kills, but the connection has been so good. She's getting them with a lot of power. She's able to have that full arm swing and range on her attack.
And it looked like she was going cross-court there the whole time until the very end.
Everything about her shoulders said that.
Martin upped by Malk. Back set, Adriano spins it off the block for a Nebraska point.
Nebraska's doing what Nebraska does on offense, which means everybody's getting involved, and it's really deceptive and unpredictable.
6 players for Nebraska have at least 2 kills already, just about a set and a half in. Martin. Great dig by Riley, then Malk's there, and a free ball back to Penn State. Nittany Lions in system. Ewing on the pin is rejected.
Just when you think Penn State has an advantage, they get a free ball. These are the ones that you need to convert. Nebraska's defense is right there, and it's the front court of Harper Murray that gets it done.
6 blocks for Nebraska already. That one a solo block from Harper Murray. Sliding dig from Riley. Shoved into the block by Adriano, makes the smart play for the point.
Yeah, that's a really high IQ play from Virginia Adriano. Bit of an awkward set. She sees the block well, pushes it right off and out of bounds.
Penn State takes the timeout. It's been all Nebraska tonight.
Right now, they lost set 1, 25-6. They're now down 8 already early in set 2. They have to find ways to generate points. Kennedy Martin's been a player that's been able to do that for them. They got to have someone else that's going to step up.
Well, it's been a lot of Martin tonight. As a team, only 9 kills for Penn State in the first set and a half. 6 of them have come from Kennedy Martin, the 2-time All-American. Back set, Alec from the middle has the quick side out for Nebraska.
Bergen Riley continuing to keep every player involved in the offense. That means that Nebraska's passing has just been phenomenal. Penn State's got to find a way to make this offense unpredictable by serving just a little bit tougher.
16 assists now. She's just 5 shy of 3,000 in her career. Oh, what a sliding play in the back row by Sigler. Murray goes cross court. Lyon from the middle, that's Mendelson. Oh, they say wide left. Nebraska has the point for now, but Jillian Grimes, the libero, serving for the Nittany Lions. Harper Murray tries to go cut shot, but it's too wide, and point Penn State.
Good look for Harper Murray with the one-on-one blocking situation, but just a little bit off on the execution.
Serve is too strong, and that's something that Katie Schumacher told us today at practice, Emily, that they were going to be okay with some service errors because they needed to be aggressive.
Yeah, and that's just Penn State's first service error of the match. Obviously, they haven't had many opportunities to do so because they've only scored a collective 14 points in this match, but they do need to be a lot more aggressive back there.
Selman turned back. Lyon goes to the middle this time. Now Martin right side, deflection off the block. Back set, Adriano is denied.
Big stuff for Penn State up front. The block finally turning on, getting something going. Really well set up by Emmy Selman to shut it down.
3 of the last 4 points have gone to Penn State, and maybe this is something, Emily, that could spark them. But they'll give it right back on the service error.
A difficult balance because you have to serve really tough against a team like Nebraska. You also don't want to hand them too many points because, of course, Nebraska does a good enough job scoring points on their own.
And they'll add another on the ace from Harper Murray.
And that's just Nebraska's second ace of the night, but it feels like they've had so much more because of the amount of overpasses that we've seen that Nebraska's front court has been able to put down for a point.
Lyon goes outside, Selman long, point Nebraska.
Penn State's 14th attack error of this match so far, compared to only 10 kills. They got to find a way to generate something.
Hitting negative 073. Slide, upped by Choboy. Cross court, overpass, Nebraska in system. Riley gives to Harper Murray with the roll shot, and it falls in the center of the defense.
Really smart play from Harper Murray. She has such good vision to see exactly where the defenders are out on the court. Backpedal ball's back there, looks over on the other side, and then perfectly places that tip.
How hard is that to do in the moment to read the defense and decide at the last second what kind of shot to go with?
Yeah, it's really difficult, and that's a lot of times when you see players develop off speed, so tips and roll shots throughout their career, because early on you're kind of just focused on getting the ball over. Harper Murray, though, in her 3rd year of college ball, has really developed good vision to see that.
Having by far the best year of her career. Jackson is blocked back. A combination of Ewing and Hop up front for Penn State.
Penn State now 2 blocks this set, finding ways to shut down Nebraska's offense. They're going to need a lot more of that, though. Good handwork, Ewing.
Slide for Jackson. It seems like Bergen Riley does that so often, Emily, where one person gets blocked, she goes back to them right away to get them going again.
Yeah, we call that a repeat set, and it's really important because you, want to establish that connection again, get that attacker going, but also give the hitter some confidence going up to put one away. Especially when you have a player like Andy Jackson who's hitting almost 400 on the season. She's about sure for a point every other set.
Hitting over 400 for her career, which would be the best in Nebraska history if that holds up through the rest of her career. Bump set, Showboy. Landfair down the line.
Nebraska's pin attackers, especially those left sides, are doing a really nice job attacking the line for Penn State. The Nittany Lions blocking the cross-court shot. Really good vision from the outsides to hit it straight on down line.
Nebraska has won 34 straight sets.
What's the tape, yeah?
Back set, and off the slide, Rebecca Alec with another Nebraska point to push the lead back up to 9.
What a pass from Harper Murray. I mean, she's just stepping in this one, making it look easy. That was one of the tougher serves that we've seen all night.
Serving for Nebraska, number 2, Bergen Riley.
There's an ace. 3rd of the night.
Nebraska servers picking apart Penn State's serve receive, especially that seam between the 2 outsides.
Keep on here, Kenny. Watch the set. Watch the set.
Martin back row, dug up by Riley. Bump set from mouth to libero. And a cross-court kill for Adriano gives Nebraska set point. Martin, too strong, but a touch. Point Penn State, and they survive the first set point.
Good precision on that swing from Kennedy Martin, just to clip a finger of Taylor Landfair.
7th kill for Kennedy Martin. She's the only player with more than 2 tonight for Penn State. Addie Lyon, the setter, to serve. Riley goes to the pin. Penn State scrambling, a little bit of chaos, but a good swing from Martin. Back row, Harper Murray is denied.
Gabby Nichols, the freshman middle blocker, checking in late in this set and getting a massive stuff to keep Penn State alive.
Back-to-back points scored by Penn State, facing set point. Riley back set. Landfair off the deflection of the block, and Nebraska has jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Not quite as dominant as set 1, Emily, but still a set that was never really in danger.
Yeah, Nebraska playing one of the best matches of their year so far. Meanwhile, Penn State, this is not the Nittany Lions team that we have seen all season long. Expect them to come out completely different in set 3.
Sigler gets us started, and why not an ace to begin set 3 as she shrugs her shoulders and smiles.
There's been no area of Nebraska's game so far this match that has looked down, especially serving-wise. This is one of the better serving matches that we've seen from the Huskers.
Lyon with a set to Martin down the line, and she plants it on the line for the kill.
Penn State's got to have that gut check mentality of going for it every point. Tips are not going to win the match against Nebraska. I'd love to see Penn State right now go all out for every swing.
Well, that's it, right? One thing to give you a little bit of a spark right in this third set.
Yeah, you got to find something.
Riley goes to Murray. She goes off speed. Swing for Martin on the right side, and she's rejected. It's Alec and Murray again.
Harper Murray is blocking incredibly well during this match. That's one area of her game that has skyrocketed in the last year. She's putting up career-high block per set numbers, and Alec gets credited for that one, but Murray's setting that up.
7 blocks as a team tonight for Nebraska. Make it 8. Adriano makes it back-to-back for the Huskers.
Nebraska's making it impossible to put a ball down on their side. From the front court defense working really hard to get touches and stuffs. Then if you get it past them, they have one of the best backcourt defenses in the country too.
Leading the nation in opponent hitting percentage for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Jackson from the middle. It's a point for Penn State.
So a lift called there, the ball in Andy Jackson's hand just a little bit too long coming back before she moved it forward. Subjective call, not a call you can challenge.
Danny Busboom Kelly didn't like it. She's over here right beside us trying to make her case. No lift on that one. Andy Jackson hammers it through.
Love that set from Bergen Riley to know that Jackson is a player that she's got to get that ball to in that situation, coming off of an error.
You mentioned it last set too, as that was the repeat set to give Bergen Riley her 3,000th of her career. Spectacular stuff for the junior. Back set, Martin is blocked on the tip. Lyon goes Selman, she goes off speed. Dumped over. Penn State can't recover, and it's a point for Nebraska.
Bergen Riley has been so deceptive when she's dumping. When she's up front, she needs to make sure to establish herself as a threat. Saw it early on during set 1 and it scored. Now the second time she's gone up to take it over on 2, scores again.
Even after 2 dominant wins in the first 2 sets, Emily, you can tell that Nebraska's not content. Like, they want this 3rd set.
Yeah, you can tell even just by the way that the players are out there. They look so dialed in every movement. They're putting a little extra something in. They want to get in and get out.
The near pin is blocked back. Back set, Adriano from the back, but she stepped on the 10-foot line on the attack.
A big awkward on that approach for Adriano wanting to attack this ball, but stepping a little bit too far forward on it.
It's Kennedy Martin who rotates back to serve. The Florida transfer, a 2-time All-American, goes into the net.
Now Kennedy Martin in the back row for Penn State. That means Addie Lyon, the shorter setter, is up front on the right side.
Off the slide, dug up by Murray. Land fair, roll shot is tipped up in the air. Martin back row and right to Murray. She can't handle it. Penn State pulls within 2.
Finally, Penn State playing with a little bit of fire, doing a better job putting pressure on Nebraska and hitting to spots where those defenders aren't.
Just squeezes it between that tight seam of the blockers for the kill. Her 8th of the night. Selman into the net on the serve. This is Andy Jackson. The junior already has 1 ace tonight. Off the antenna on the attempt from Jordan Hopp, point Nebraska.
And that's a tough run for Penn State because that's such a good pass from Jillian Grimes, taking it away from her outside to put right on the money.
Serve is too strong from Andy Jackson. Picked up by Hop. Alec on the slide. Another one for Rebecca Alec.
What makes Rebecca Alec's slide attack so impressive is that the spray chart is kind of like a fan. Sometimes she'll take it cross court, but she's also so good at this line shot if it's available.
Just taking what the defense gives her there. Her team high 8th kill. So much balance. We talked about it early in set 1, and Bergen Riley does a great job distributing. That's rejected by Alec. Both sides for her tonight. Offense and defense is clicking.
That's discipline just playing out. As a middle, you have to be ready to go, but not explode out until you know where that ball's going. Rebecca Alec does such a nice job not going up until she knows exactly where the ball is set.
Her 4th block. Nebraska has 9 as a team through 2.5 sets. Back set. Adriano splits the back row defenders for another kill.
I mean, every single player for the Huskers right now is just incredible with what they're doing on both sides of the ball. This is one of the best offensive performances that we've seen all year.
It's nothing new, but it comes back to that balance. It's so hard defensively when you've got the weapons Nebraska has to be able to defend.
Yeah, and you know, with how good Nebraska is as a passing team, but also defensively.
Rebecca Alec on the overpass.
That's one area of Nebraska's game tonight they've been impressive too. The serve is doing its job, forcing the overpasses, but I don't think that front row has missed one.
No. And it's not even necessarily the aces, which Nebraska has 4 of tonight, but it's just that service pressure. Yeah. Ewing hits the antenna. Point Nebraska. 25-15 in the second, and now down 8 in set 3 with their backs against the wall trying to avoid a sweep, and that won't help. Wide right on the attack from Ewing pushes Nebraska's lead to 9. And
one of the biggest things that Katie Schumacher-Colley told us before this match that was important was limiting errors. That's something that they really struggled with in their match and loss against UCLA on Sunday. They had 26 attack errors. Today they already have 19.
Landfair shoves it off the block for the kill. That's going to happen too when you're aggressive, and Penn State wants to be aggressive, but it's just there's too many.
Yeah, you got to swing high and go for angles because Nebraska's defense is so good, but at the end of the day, you have to get the ball in the court.
Grimes the set. Ewing can't quite find the back line, and there's no touch up front. Point Huskers.
This is what a good defense does to you. It forces your attackers to really think that they have to do a lot more. So you got to go for that sharper angle, maybe slice the line a little bit more, hit higher. That's when you see errors come into play against a good defensive team.
Maybe the first mistake Riley's made tonight. She goes into the net on the serve.
How high is the net? Too high!
Martin on the near pin, pushes it down the line and plants it on the line for a kill.
Good footwork from Kennedy Martin. This ball a little bit too tight to the net, but she beats the ball there and is able to get to it before the blockers can to put it over.
Serve sails long, so right after Penn State gets the point, they give one back on a service error. 10-point Nebraska lead, just 8 points away from a sweep on the road and handing Penn State its 4th home loss of the season already. Mouth with the dig. Adriano finds the hands, but a sliding play in the back. Great effort from Jocelyn Nathan to keep it up. Bumps at Mouth. Murray on the pin is denied. Gabrielle Nichols, the true freshman, with the stuff.
Penn State's defense leveling up. Jocelyn Nathan, they call her Juice for a reason. That's what she brings to this team. Then in the front court, the freshman middle blocker, big stuff, put it down.
Can Penn State find a spark from the block? Balduto to serve as Riley chasing. But Nebraska comes away with a point on the Harper Murray kill.
A completely broken play, and Harper Murray is able, again, using that vision, seeing the defense on the other side, taking a lot of speed off of the swing, but just perfectly placing it in the back corner.
Martin cross court on the line.
This is where Penn State has some work to do. After losing the first 2 sets, you're down 9 in this one, but can you show a little bit of fight just to at least push, maybe get the score a little closer? Penn State obviously hopes to take the set, but you got to get back in this set at some point.
Adriano whips it down the line for the kill.
Oh my, Virginia Adriano. She's trying to put a hole in the floor with that swing. Check out the power here, right side of your screen.
Her 8th kill tonight. She had been a little quiet to begin her freshman season, but over the last 4 matches, she's averaging about 9 kills per match. You can really tell that she's starting to find it about halfway through her freshman season. And her teammates loving up on her as well. Selman, but it's wide left. No touch, point Huskers, and again they're the first to 20 with an 11-point lead. Overpass. Mendelson drills it, but she's in the net. Penn State cannot catch a break tonight.
It's those plays that Penn State just hasn't been able to get on top of. We've seen it all night long, just errors.
Martin cross court. It was tipped, point Penn State. Danny Busboom Kelly says, we're going to go ahead and take another look at that. Nebraska would like to challenge after the call on the floor is a tip by the block.
Based on that look, no fingers moving.
Allie check in the back row too, was plenty away from the ball, so imagine we see this one overturned. She would leave there for, and it was to come home to Nebraska. Back-to-back points for Penn State, trying to piece together something late on the Kennedy Martin ace.
And Kennedy Martin showing a little bit of life back there. That's the mentality you have to have when you're down this much. Get after it from the service line.
Just the second ace tonight for Penn State, but make it back-to-back. Kennedy Martin providing some juice for Penn State.
You don't see Nebraska get aced often, but back-to-back for Kennedy Martin shows that she is ready to go back there.
Nearly a third in a row, but Malk able to make the play. Jackson on the slide is tipped back. Flynn sets Murray. Nice dig by Grimes. Selman, long, no touch, point Nebraska. Harper Murray in the net on the serve. Nebraska 2 points away from a sweep on the road, a chance to improve to 13-0, 3-0 in the Big Ten. Amy Selman, the sophomore, is serving for Penn State. Flynn has to chase it down. Sigler cross court, and Nebraska has match point.
Even players that don't get a lot of playing time in the front row, you can see the depth that Nebraska has, which is one of the reasons why they're the #1 team in the country. They don't even need their starters out there to dominate.
Everybody's getting time tonight, and that says something when you're talking about one of the best teams in the country in Penn State. Macy Bosinger serving. Overpass. Still alive. Walks across the tape. It's out. And a dominant night for Nebraska, sweeping Penn State on the road.
If there were any questions who deserve